Greetings, everyone. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Uhuru. Thank you so much for joining us. As we always do before we get started, make sure you go to dynastymirror.com. Again, make sure you go to dynastymirror.com. While you're there, pick up the critically acclaimed, critically acclaimed book, Sales Motivation 101. Get off your arse and cold call. Written by yours truly. That's me in the slim fits suits on there on the cover. That is I. That is yours truly. Make sure you go and buy that book. Go to Amazon.com or go to dynastymirror.com. Sorry about that. I was getting the sites mixed up. So again, go to dynastymirror.com or go to Amazon.com and buy your copy, you guys. Also buy the merchandise. Listen, if you're watching this and if you do not own a piece of Dynasty Mirror merchandise or a book, I mean, what's going on, you guys? What's going on? You got to go support. Also, while you're there, join the email list, subscribe to the email list. Like, share, and subscribe to the content as well. Again, like, share, and subscribe to the content. We really appreciate you guys' support. And then Patreon. Become a monthly Patreon. Again, guys, become a monthly Patreon. Patreon.com. Patreon.com. Search for Uhuru. Again, Patreon.com. Search for Uhuru. We will really appreciate your guys' support. Again, we would really appreciate your guys' support. We don't have the NBC budget, but there are over 80,000 of you. So I should have about 80,000 shirts sold, books, and at least $1 from you guys on a monthly basis. So again, go to patreon.com, search for Uhuru, and make your contribution. Without further ado, we have my brother on with us today. He has the Alabama shirt, so they must be playing Saturday, meaning they're probably going to lose. Don't know who they're playing, you know. And the thing is, with this new schedule, this new SEC schedule, they can't play, Tuskegee. Usually Alabama, they start off with Tuskegee or Alabama State, Morehouse.
My youngest brother graduated. My youngest brother is a graduate from Morehouse.
Right. So they play these bums, for Arkansas, Pine Bluff. I mean, I don't know, Prairie View. These bums. Tuscaloosa City College.
Georgia.
So
those other little bums you talking about, Georgia. Bulldogs down.
Yeah, he has his shirt off. So he has his shirt off today. So today's topic, you guys. Today's topic: controlling your own economic destiny. Again, controlling your own economic destiny. Guys, like, we have no choice. I mean, having multiple sources of income is no longer a luxury. Saying you have a good job is insane. Considering, I'll consider becoming an entrepreneur, starting a home-based business. You're committing suicide if you're not doing that. Unless you guys know something that I don't know, or you have your hands on something that I don't know, or your grandma left you you're in a trust, left you that trust fund. You're getting paid every month, no matter what, for the rest of your life, and your kids inherit that as well. I mean, I don't know, but it's just where we're at now. We have to control our economic destiny, our own economy. Because at the end of the day, you do not want your economy to be dependent on corporate America. You don't want your economic destiny to be dependent on whoever's in the White House. I don't care who's in the White House, because they're all going to promise jobs and raise minimum wage, and we're going to bring jobs back home, and all this other stuff. But, your expectation should be that unemployment is going to get worse. That should be your expectation. That is how you should operate. So today's topic is controlling your own economic destiny. Without further ado, Brother Fitzgerald Stevens, our special guest, is going to take it away.
First and foremost, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everyone and their families had an awesome weekend. Hasn't been look like the rain is breaking down here down in Tampa, so that's good because it's been raining about like every day for about 2 weeks. Prince Dinah Samir and I often talk about the importance of controlling your own economy. We believe that it's critical. It used to be something back in the past, distant past, or even a near past, that people would say it would be nice. It would be really nice to to be my own boss. It would be really nice to have an extra stream of income. And when I say an extra stream of income, I want to clarify the extra streams of income we're talking about is creating residual income. In other words, you have revenue streams coming into your house. You're only one person, only one male, one female. There's only so many places you can be at one time, and there's only so many hours you have to be in those places. We're talking about creating residual income from multiple different financial platforms. So when it's the future, the future dictates that's going to be exactly where we're all going to need to be. Now we're all going to have to be entrepreneurs in one sort of another, simply because we can't depend upon the traditional systems how we have attained our economic freedom to be in place, or to be operating as we have known it to sustain our economy. We can't do that. And when I say economy, I'm not talking about your particular nation's economy or your city economy or the place where you live. When I say economy, Prince Amir and I are always referring to the economy of your own home, which in my case is my point is the most important economy, the economy of your own home. Your economy can be booming, and someone else economy cannot.
Right.
Their economy can be booming and yours cannot. So it comes down to individual guts, grit, taking initiative, figuring out something, making moves before moves are made on you. It's really no way around that. We could go over the various events that we see the world over played out continuously, and I don't see them getting better. Matter of fact, the United States just went into one very, very super mode of uncertainty because we, as of Friday, lost Justice Ruth Ginsburg. Okay, Supreme Court justice, a senior member of the justice of the Supreme Court justices. Well, you guys may just say, well, that's not a big deal. I said we just lost a Supreme Court justice. We have a president. In 4 years, he has the ability to elect the third justice in less than 4 years. That's unheard of. You can go ahead and go from the inception of this country until now, and I don't know if there's a president that ever had that much power. Well, what does the Supreme Court justice mean? Well, if depend on who he decides to select, and whether it's contended or not, it can literally shape the whole economic landscape of this country. And the United States has a lot to do with the economic landscape of the world. We're still that power. We're still that much powerful and everything. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, that can mean immigration rights. That can mean things that things with how businesses are able to conduct businesses. Maybe they can change the rules and make it less viable for American workers, or more so. Maybe they could vote to extend you name it. Maybe they can say, well, we don't see civil rights legislation that big a deal. We think everybody's cool and everything's fair, so we'll keep everything like it is. Y'all come back and talk to us another 50 years when we decide we want to renew your lease. All kinds of things. The ramification of this is huge because the court will be off balance. So supposedly conservative or liberal and all that foolish. It just comes down to a whole bunch of people who literally have the right to impose their will upon you. Okay, now if what does that mean for you? Well, that means you better be prepared for either way. No matter who's elected. The person they're talking about elected now is a judge by the name of Amy. I forget her name right now, but she's only 48 years old. That's old as my youngest brother. That's nothing. I mean but with the ramifications of of a new justice and what they can do, especially if the court is tilted in their favor, which President Trump is definitely trying to do, because the president has the right, the president has the right to support a Supreme Court judge. That can mean ramifications that Dinas Amir's grandchildren will be feeling, and he has a 6-year-old son. That's how long these things can last. So if I'm painting that picture right here, what picture do you need to be painting? You need your mindsets needs to be a way. Most mindsets with the wealthy class, they don't care who's in power. They really don't, because they are going to make sure that their economic household and their platforms are solidified in a way that they're not going to really take much of a hit far as from that. Or if they do take much of a hit, they're able to go to another country that would be more friendlier to them. You know, so we have to look at these things. But while we can't just say things are great and look at the old days, and man, you know what? I talk about they're coming out with a vaccine, and with the Gates and the Fauci, but they don't let their kids get vaccine, but they're vaccine yours, so we have to look at these things, that just how much our freedoms and how much our opportunities, how long the windows are going to be open for us to create something. And so we have to get really get very, very serious about our lives. I believe about our economic lives. I believe that we have to have a home-based business. I believe we have to have a business. I believe we have to be in control of our financial future. I don't care if you're out there selling popsicles and potato chips with a Coca-Cola. I mean, as long as something yours, as long as you're the one who control your income, as long as you can decide how much money you make, I guess that'd be a better term. You decide how much money you make. You decide, how what type of tax brackets what type of tax bracket you want to remain in. Whether do you want to remain in a regular employee who does not really get substantial tax breaks, or you want to become a business who can take advantage of tax breaks? Do you want to just work and earn your money solely based on your efforts, or do you want to incorporate a team or incorporate partners and build residual income that comes in while you sleep? Do you want to have you want to be able to leave assets and wealth to your descendants, to your children's children? Or you just want to, be one of the many children who are in there fighting over who mom and dad left the house, and then you try to figure out how you're going to pay the taxes on it later on. And so it's very, very important that we become future oriented. We look at trends and we move in the direction that the future is going. The future is going on a global community now. The future now is online, creating businesses that we're able to literally promote our product and goods and services literally all around the world. Future is going to where we can run businesses from the comfort of our home, or using our computer or our smartphone, making income. The future is created by ideas now, and so you don't necessarily have to have a gargantua traditional brick and mortar business. You can have a gargantua business, but it can be based on the World Wide Web, the internet landscape, and it can be just as profitable, if not more so profitable, than any traditional business you may have considered starting. And so we have to look at these things, very much so. I mean, many people are trying to call for more extensions because they exhausted the extensions, whether with their car payments or their mortgages or their rents for their various places of living dwellings, and they're finding that a lot of these companies are not so keen to work with them much anymore. They're like, okay, yeah, we understand that, but where's our money and stuff? And so you have to get out there and figure out how you're going to create something, especially if you're still waiting on the services to help prop up your economy until that's gone. As far as people are concerned, they don't have any more money to give you.
Right.
So they're looking for you to put that together. They're looking for you to figure that out. And so whatever you do, whatever you do, they're like, okay, where's my money? Remember, I said
Right.
one time before, don't that's the really thing it only comes down to. In the world of business, it really only comes down to one concept, one statement. That's all. All the rest of the stuff, the sales, marketing, all that kind of stuff, and the human resources and the expansion, and studying MBA and getting executive AA. I could save you a whole lot of money with that, with this one statement. And you might want to write.
You have the money.
In the world of business, there's but one thing they are concerned about. One thing, and this is whether you're in Singapore or Seattle, whether you're in Montreal or Minnesota. It doesn't make a difference. The question is this: do you have the money, or do you not?
You don't.
Do you not? I would challenge anyone to prove me wrong on that statement. And please don't give me but. There ain't no buts. There ain't no buts. There really ain't no yeah. It's a simple, definitive answer: either yes or no. Do you have the money, or do you not? If you have the capital, great. We can continue allowing you access to our goods and services. If you don't, call us back when you do. I mean, and once you understand that type of logic and that type of thinking, okay, the second thing that you got to look at, then, how am I going to go get the money? How am I going to get it? I mean, if Fitzgerald is saying, do you have the money? Do you not? I mean, I have that question. Let's just say, okay. I say yes, great. What are you going to make sure that it keeps coming in? What's your plan to make sure it keeps coming in? If no, we already know how that. Okay. What is your plan to increase it if you keep it, if you have it? How are you going to build onto it? You're only one person. There's only so many hours of the day that you can work. So what are you going to do to increase it? How are you going to multiply it? And so we think it's great that you consider starting a business. If you don't want to do the traditional business, definitely consider putting a home-based business together.
Right.
Now, and that's what we want to talk to you guys about. And just just take control of your future, because they're putting the head in the sand and waiting for someone to come save you. Those days are over. No, those days are over, and it's really very imperative that we truly understand the magnitude of what we're dealing with in this society. This is not my mom and dad's society anymore. My parents were born back in the 40s, late 40s. Dad's 77, mom be 76, March 29th. It's not their world anymore. It's not my world. It isn't in my world. I'm like on the tail end. The baby boomer generation ended in 1964. That's the date of that's the year of my birth, 1964. Well, we have the millenniums now, and they are trying to find a way in the world. We have other generations coming out that. We have other generations coming out that, but like Mr. Amir's little son. But I don't care what generation you from. It doesn't make a difference to me. Whatever you decide, do you have the money? Do you not? We're going to talk to you ways about getting that today. And so, Prince Amir, I'll take it over to you. Hopefully, the introduction was plain.
Yeah. So basically, in the chat room, guys, is my FreeBay affiliate links. Also, scrolling at the bottom of the screen in the ticker will be in the description as well. Click on the link, sign up as an affiliate, and then I'll reach out to you and we'll get you guys up and running. If you guys don't know, Care Bars shifted somewhat to FreeBay. So click on that link and we will get you guys up and running. So controlling your own economic destiny. Fitzgerald, do you wish you would have become an entrepreneur sooner? I always hear that. People always tell me that, once they leave corporate America.
Officially came on to it. Tell you away, man. I've been one for a long time. I just didn't know. So, for example, when I was a child, I had a newspaper route. We used to live up in Ohio, a small little village called Malvern. I used to sell papers. The paper was called a repository. Well, I would get I would get my papers. I would carry them literally door to door in snow and stuff. Like the worst was Sunday, because Sunday the paper was super heavy, like that thick per paper. And I'm a little kid. I'm chucking my bag around. It was orange and kind of tan. I remember that. Well, I got paid after that. And I got paid for delivering those papers. Then I also had a seed company. I would go around trying to sell seeds. And why is that? I wanted to earn my own money. I mean, I really, really want to earn my own money. I grew up in the house. Mom and dad didn't know what allowance was. I mean, I used to hear people getting allowance at the end of the thing. What's that? My parents didn't understand what that was, but so I guess that's kind of good, and I guess that is really kind of good, because it taught me, I had to go out there and work. I didn't mind working. I had an excellent model in the home with dad. He was going out working, on the second shift at Timken Roller Band, so taking care of myself and my two younger brothers and my mother, family of five. So I saw that the man just work.
So Fitzgerald, real quick. So your father, so you said your mom didn't work, or did she work?
Oh, my mother was a homemaker. See, Daddy could take care of everything by himself, because the house on about a 3,000 square foot house in Mount Vernon on Reed Street. It's only $22,000.
That's big for sure.
Yeah. And I asked the man how much he paid for it, because we always had food. We everything was taken care of. He was doing that by himself. Mom didn't have to work. Mom was raising us. She wanted a job, and she took a job at the Little Forest Inn in Malvern. Not because she needed, she was just bored. The sons that we were getting older, especially my middle brother. I'm 8 years older than my youngest brother, so it's a gap there. But it's fine. But mother didn't need to work. Dad could handle everything. It was a different world back then. When you're going down to the local gas station and paying 10 and 15 cents a gallon for gas. It was a different world. It was a different world when goods and services were much cheaper than they are right now. Because really back in the 70s and the late 70s, I like to think about Nixon had taken America off the gold standard back in 1973. So inflation really didn't grip the spending power of the money. It took a little time for that freight train to keep rolling.
Right.
A little time to creep, but once you can clearly see the effects of the rolling right now in 2020. You want to see that? Take a $20 bill to the
grocery store.
$20 bill to the grocery store, and I'll be smiling with you when you come out. Maybe you'll come out with like a 3 or 4 items, maybe.
For sure. I'll tell you what you'll be able to get with $20 at the grocery store. One of those, I think, 1 pound containers of turkey meat, some spaghetti sauce, some noodles, and maybe some seasoning salt. That's it.
Well, I mean, that's the sad truth. I mean, food is something everyone relates to. Food is very, very paramount. You're talking to a gentleman who grew up on a farm. After we moved to Alabama, spent time, living with my grandfather, and had a huge farm down there, and we grew all our own stuff. So I know the value No, I didn't know the value of food, because we always had it. We grew it. No, my grandfather never told me what he paid for seeds and what he paid for that, because we were working the farm, doing little things. So I have picked more peas than Del Monte. I've cut more peppers and shook more pecan trees. So food wasn't something we worried about. I mean, so I didn't have a concept for that. I didn't know what it was really to be hungry. Primarily till I left home. Didn't know what it was. We grew everything. We were totally self-sufficient. So I love the farming industry. I think it's great, but it's taken a whole lot of hit. But it's taken a whole lot of hit over the years, because a lot of these companies are being bought out by the huge giants. And plus, when you have companies like Monsanto's and the genetically modified food, and really, really putting the stress on that, it's different. Everything's different, ladies and gentlemen. Everything's different. About 40 years, as far as 40 years back in the 70s, or about 70, close to 80 years, when dad and mom were walking on the earth back in the 40s, the things are different, but the concept stays the same. Do you have the money or do you not?
No, do you not?
It used to, do you have the money or do you not? That philosophy will fit all over the world. Now, when people say, well, we ought to start this business, we ought to start that business, we ought to start this business. That's not my point. I want to emphasize with you. I can agree with that. I'm trying to say, like, hey, you really need to look at a way of getting the money. And you need to look at a way to expand in the money. You need to look at that, how you can. But why do you want that? Because you've got to ensure the economic future of you and your family and your descendants. You have to. What business you decide to do is inconsequential. It doesn't make a difference to me. Long as legally, ethically, and morally right. No, but the product, the fact of the matter is, okay, let's go ahead and build generational wealth. Not just for me. I could be fine. It ain't no big deal. But what about my family?
Right.
What about my family? It doesn't take much for Fitzgerald Stevens to live. Don't take much at all. It doesn't take much for all of me at all. No, I'm cool. But what about my family? What about the generations after them? Okay, I'm 56. That's cool. Praise God. Thank you, Lord, for allowing me to live on your 56 years. I'm great. I won't be here forever. What do I want to put my family in a situation where where there be less jobs to compete, or more? Do I want to put them in a situation where they have to go out there and work for someone for 40 years or 30 years, or hoping they will have a future? Would I want to put them in a position they're limited where they can travel and how they can do, or they're limited in their education because they're limited for one reason and one reason only? They don't have the resources. Do I want to teach them about building generational wealth, building businesses, taking advantage of tax loopholes like the wealthy do to increase their wealth? Or do I just want to go out there and throw them out and say, okay, go ahead and get your college degree and good luck, work hard? You don't need a college degree to be successful in business and life. You don't need a college degree to be successful in life. But you do need certain things. You need certain principles, primarily financial principles. And that's what we're talking about. If you don't have a lot of money to get started within businesses, traditional businesses, for example, it's nothing for someone to drop down $2 million for a McDonald's franchise. That's what a franchise. I ain't talk to you about your employees. I was talking to you about the different sales tax. Right? I haven't even talked to you about employee tax. I'm not even talking to you about equipment and all that kind of stuff. I'm not even talking to you about franchise fees. I haven't talked to you about that. $2 million to make maybe $160,000 that you clear per McDonald's, as the owner does. Look it up. Okay. So great business models. I would love to own a Chick-fil-A, man. I eat there enough. I ought to own one,
Yeah.
but I don't have that type of money to come up with just yet. I would love to have an apartment complex, be a Grant Cardone style, and getting my money for real estate. I don't have about close to $3-4 million to flip into something right now and wait until I can rent it out and get tenants. I don't have that, but I can start a home-based business. I can start a freebie business. A Dynas Amir's link is going down at the bottom. I can start a business designed on gold and showing me how to learn trading, crypto trading, to learn how to increase my wealth and income. Thus, I'm taking advantage of all the tax benefits that a traditional business would have. I can learn to create residual income. I can learn how to create a real global income by leveraged efforts of time. When I say the leveraged efforts of time, I have a home-based business, a little small home-based business. Close to about 12,000 business partners all over the world that I run from a cell phone on my time for the comfort of my home with a computer. I'm also getting ready to create my janitorial business. You know, that should be up and running pretty soon. I have one back a couple of years. I'm going to recreate it down there in Tampa again. I also have my YouTube channel running. You know, that I can
Find
also,
ways to win.
you know,
Guys, go subscribe.
find ways to win. The number 2 wins with Fitzgerald Stevens. So I have that, you know, I have that going. So I look for streams. I look for income streams, and I look for symmetry. Symmetry is they have to fit in together, you know, because I just peeled off to you guys probably about 4 or 5 dimensions right there, but I'm able to work all of them because the way they fit. My freebie business that works around the world. I don't need to be there. People register that for free. They decide to get a business package. They're saving in gold. They're learning how to flip trades and all that, getting financial education to what they're doing. 149 countries. You know, I mean, my janitorial business here in Tampa, man, it'd be tough for me to open up one in Miami. Miami's 4 hours away. You know, I probably have to go back and forth and drive back and forth down there. I can work one here in North Tampa, maybe South Tampa, but I'm only one man, and then I got to go watch employees. I know how to do it. It's not a big thing, but my internet channel, okay, or if I decide I want to do books or T-shirts like Prince Amir's happening, I could have that drop ship, making revenue from that with my freebie home-based business. I look for symmetry. They have to fit together. Because ultimately what I'm looking for is multiple streams of income without me having to get out there and spend multiple amounts of time getting it. That's what I'm looking for. And that's what you should be looking for. We all need additional streams of income. How many should we have? How many do you want? No, how many do you want? I'm personally going for 7. 7 streams of income coming into my house. You know, and I have a plan on how I want to do it. You know, I have a notebook over here so to do it. So I'm always looking to grab that. So with me, okay, cool right now. Okay, no, just me for the moment. No, but nevertheless, okay. What about the next generation? What about putting other things in place for people who you know, who don't have, and, you know, what about creating scholarships, and what about creating food banks, and what about creating opportunities for other people? Like one thing I would like to do is create opportunities for people who have got caught up in our court system, you know, and to people who so-called felons and they can't work and they made a mistake. You know, you could be a felon, you know, for having a gram of marijuana in your pocket with this system, especially a person of color in this country. So don't think felon, you know, you don't know what people got jammed up for. But I do know people need second chances. I do know there are plenty of orphans out there. I do know there are plenty of widows out there that need resources too. So if you're making it and you got yourself fine, I think you owe it to the Lord God, you know, to get out there and help someone else. It's just my belief. How are you going to help them without resources? Right. You know, I mean, you know, I met people on the streets, and they were, you know, and I talked to them, and, you know, they tell me they're hungry. You know, you know, you get up there. When I said, okay, you know, okay, let's get you something to eat. I mean, and then I can pray for you. That goes a whole lot better. Hey man, you be warm and be filled. No, they need their needs met. And so the cost of living is going to keep rising, ladies and gentlemen. The cost of your dollars are going to keep going down. Understand that. So you're going to have to you already have to work longer, and you already, and stuff is costing more than what it was. Or cost of your cost of living increases are not going up in proportionally with your cost of goods increases. So while your cost of goods is slowly pulled away from here, your increase in pay is sort of staying right here. So what are you going to do? Okay, already right now we have the husband's working, the wife is working, the son and daughter, they have little jobs, you know, or paper routes, and we're thinking about putting a dog in the dog show because he need to be bringing some food revenue in to pay for those milk bones he be buying. Right. So this is what it is. And see, notice when I just said that, I just told you just like a generation ago. I'm one generation removed from my parents. And I just told you that my dad could support a family of 5, 3 sons and a wife, one job. Those days are gone. And oh, by the way, we wasn't in the hood. We were in a very, very nice middle class neighborhood. Nice middle class neighborhood. You can't pull that now. You can't do that. You know, and so what? So times has changed. We have to involve in it. So FreeBay, the home-based business we want to introduce to you. I'm going to be talking about it on my stream, probably later on the day too, on my channel rather. FreeBay allows us to save in gold. Allows us to save in gold. Why would you want to save in gold? Gold is money. We purchase small increments of gold. Same thing like we used to do with Carrot Parts. Small increments of gold, but we added a twist to it. You know, now we're looking at different instruments of money right now. Different instruments. You know, we have there are the majors: gold, silvers, palladium, precious metals, and artwork, real estate, which is a king. But those aren't went away, and those are still very good value. But there's a new sheriff in town. It's called cryptocurrency. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Lycan. No, these are digital currencies that are here to stay. That are becoming a very, very vital part of the world global economy. Well, we teach you how to do that. They teach you how to learn that. We teach you how to profit from that. You know, you've heard of day traders. They're crypto traders. There are people out there, you know, making a couple $100 a day, or a couple thousands or several $100,000 a month. You know, I mean, all depends on the skill level. Well, FreeBay offers a platform like that. Now, nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed. We want to emphasize that. How much will I make? I suggest you go apply for a job and ask them for that. They tell you want to make $15 an hour. You know how much you will make. But the sweet and sour of entrepreneurship. Let me tell you this: the sweet side is like you can make as much money as you're willing to work for. The sour side is you don't know how much money you will get. You don't know. Nothing's guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed. You have to build it. You have to go out there and get it. Entrepreneurs, you know, you have to be prepared to go out there and hunt and what you eat is what you killed. Yeah, it's not one of those things like okay, what are you going to pay me? Well, it's what you decide to make. And therein, ladies and gentlemen, lies one of the major separating components of those who are entrepreneurs and those who are not entrepreneurs, because you have got to get on that. You have got to get over that. It can be scary. You're walking out there on that plane. You don't have a safety. You don't have a safety net. You know, if you don't put this together or you don't do that, you know, your family or your obligations are not going to be made. But you know that you have no one telling you where you can't expand or what you can't do or who you can't hire or when you can take off. But, you know, it's a price you have to pay for that. I have businesses. Prince Amir and I have businesses in Africa. You know, we have businesses in Europe, and we have businesses in Australia just simply through our FreeBay account. But Prince Amir also has, you know, a global brand with his books, with his tour company, with his T-shirt company. You know, these are what I'm talking about, streams of income, and you're looking at that. So for those of you who like, okay, I like to get a business, how much it costs? Free to join. FreeBay is absolutely free. How do I learn about it? Plug into the training information every day, Monday through Sunday, 9 a.m., 9 p.m. and 12 p.m. That's where you get your training on goldrocks.info. Invite other people to do it. Start saving in gold. Start acquiring assets, however much you want, when you want. Tell other people and get paid for what they do, for what they're doing with their organization. That's called duplication. Well, I don't want to take advantage of people or whatever you would think around in that. And okay. So what you mean, then you need to go talk to your boss tomorrow and say, you know what, I think, you know, you're taking advantage of me because I just finished talking to Mr. Amir and Fitzgerald and Khadijah. They told me, you know, that you're getting a percentage of their check too. And mine. You taking advantage of people. People ain't hearing that. You're in business. The thing about business, you create a system that brings you wealth. You're either going to be working in someone else's system or someone's going to be working in your system. I prefer it like what we do at FreeBay here and my businesses. I prefer to, I have partners, especially within the FreeBay organization, partners who we make money together. That's what I like about this particular enterprise, because you know what, my job is to help you build wealth, so I can build wealth. I received a call about a couple hours ago from a business partner of mine and Mr. Mears in Melbourne, Australia. Prince Amir's in Atlanta. I'm in Tampa. Our affiliate was in Australia. We're talking about, okay, this is what we need to do. This is how we need to get this. This is why we need to go at that. Do you realize by helping him build in Australia, Prince Amir and I are building our wealth in our respective cities? That's what I mean. And I was doing something else. And so leveraging your time, free to join. We show you how to build. That's for you. You want it. That's it. If you want to if you want to look at alternatives. And that's what I guess would be a great mindset. Think about alternatives. Have you gotten what you want, doing it how you've been doing it economically? If you continue to do what you're doing economically now, will you think you'll be closer to your goal or less to it? Could you use additional streams of income? Could you use tax benefit breaks? Could you use building up assets and being able to leave income streams to your children? Okay, I asked the questions. Have you got that? Will you get where you want to do? Get where you're trying to get? Will you reach your financial goals doing what you're doing now? Many of you will say yes. Okay, once you stop working, what is your plan for increasing that? Okay, you can't leave your job to your children.
All right.
Okay, that you cannot leave your job to your children. Unfortunately, you can't. My middle brother is a senior budget director at a major institution. My youngest brother is a corporate attorney at a major institution. Each of them have 2 children. They can't leave that. They can't leave their title nor the income they produce from their jobs to their children. They can't do that. But I can leave my income and my businesses, to my dependents, and it will still keep going on even when I'm not there. That's what the wealthy do. The wealthy thinks beyond the grave. Their money is still working from them. And please don't let that be sound like a morbid statement. I mean, Michael Joseph Jackson's probably been gone going on 11 years, and his children been paid for 11 years. His estate's been paid for 11 years. That's powerful. You think about it. All those songs that he has and the royalties that it generates when you hear it on the radio, or when you see his image used in books or movies and stuff. Someone has to get paid for that. And so he's still providing for his family even beyond the grave. He's been gone 11 years. So this is something very, very powerful. And you want to use that concept. You want to think in right now: royalties, residuals, or dividends, not wages. Royalties, residuals, or dividends. Money that's going to keep coming in. Now, all of you can do this because your job will finance your financial freedom. It's the way you divert it. I don't care what you make. I don't care if you're making minimum wage. You can save something for yourself.
All right.
You can save something for yourself. I got to pay bills. Yes, but you don't have to pay them first. You pay you first. No, you pay you first. And once you have a number up where you decided, you look for instruments to park that in, not a bank, that's going to bring you a rate of return. And you're building something. That's how you build. That's how you build. And and you just put it away. I don't care if you keep it in a mattress and stuff. I don't care. But look to put it in assets. I purchase gold. or I look at other things like a gold and I purchase cryptocurrency. I started out, my first cryptocurrency buy, oh, probably brought it back 2018 March. Got a call and I bought about 200,000 KBCs back then.
Mm-hmm.
And Dynasts, I paid $2,000 for it or $1,000 for it.
Okay.
No, I since started adding more onto it, looked at other things, looked at other platforms, looked at other things. So, and I now hold something like 7 figures of cryptocurrency that I don't even really talk about. This is probably the most I talked about it, with just the stream. If you want to say that was detailed, I really don't talk about it. Still have my gold, still, building my residuals and everything, still looking at, cleaning company. Let me get on there, design that website with that. Let me push my channel. Let me put some products on that. See, this is the way we're thinking because I'm trying to build residual income. Hey, I'm feeling good right now. Praise God. He's allowed me to be healthy and strong, at 56, but 10 years are going to go by just as fast as the last 10 years went by.
Right.
66, 20 years to go by, 76. Do I really want to keep doing this for anyone else? Do I really, really want to keep doing it? Do you really want to keep doing it? And the thing, ladies and gentlemen, the thing that's so frightening is how fast time went by.
Right.
Believe it or not, I kid you not. And it didn't seem like it was too long ago. There was a time I thought someone who was 27, I really thought they were old.
Right.
You told me you was 27, man. I was like, God, what is that old guy doing, man? Man, he's old. No, yes, sir, man. You're, like that. But then it was easy to do for a kid 16, 18, 23. 27 is very old to me. That's a somewhat dependent on the mentality of child now. And so time is going to go by. And so we save in gold at FreeBay. We set our account up. Now, what's it about? What's it about? Great. So register your free account. Prince Amir or myself, we can send you one of the free videos that shows you, pull that off of YouTube. We can plug into the training system and show you how to build a massive income in addition to what you're already doing, because this thing is going to make a lot of people wealthy. I mean, the money is out there. And then you're looking at these things that talk about how sad these jobs are and how bad this is. The billionaires and a lot of them, a whole lot of them in this country, they have added close to $384 billion of wealth onto their bottom line since March of this year. But yet 43 million people are out of work. $384 billion the top tier has added onto their wealth. Money is never destroyed. It's just transferred. You may lose your job, but they ain't going to lose their income. And so you have to be in those rivers and those streams, how money is flowing. And you have to build something. You have to build your own little dam and bring some of that wealth to you and your family. And we look at ways, and we presented a few ways for you to do it. We think FreeBay is a very, very good way to do it. So what, it didn't take me long to build that. No, I mean, didn't take me long to incorporate that those concepts around there. But we have to look at something. We have to look at something. So right now I'm going to switch it. To a couple things, and what you're thinking. You're going to have to build a home-based business. You're going to have to build a business. If you don't have enough to start for a traditional business, you are going to be forced to build a home-based business. You don't necessarily have to do FreeBay. We hope you partner with us, because we take a very, very seriousness to making money with our partners. We take that very serious. Where Prince Amir and I are very hands-on. You're going to have to do it. Some of you, think. What would an extra $500 to $700 a month mean to you? Many people, that would mean the difference in them losing their home or not. Trust me, I know from firsthand experience. Okay, but some of you really need to put a FreeBay business together just to pay your student loan. Some of you, a couple of you guys are talking on here have close to 6-figure student loan debt. utilities, car payment debts. I mean, all these things are real.
All right.
Real. Do you have the money?
Or do you not? Do you not?
Well, I'm going to go back to school. That's fine. School has one question for you. Do you have the money? Or do you not? Okay. No, I'm good. That's fine. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to go out there and and put me a hot dog cart together. That's cool. When you go down to Home Depot or Lowe's, do you have the money for the hot dog cart or do you not? When you go buy your supplies at Costco, do you have the money or do you not? And I would say like, I hate to put it like that, but I don't. I'm talking 100% facts. I just don't do it like someone talk about nice little graphs and no, I don't have an MBA. I have a bachelor's degree. I'm not a financial planner. Heck, I don't need to be to tell you simple concepts like that. This stuff sells. This stuff sells. This stuff sells whether in Cuba or Jamaica or Lagos, Nigeria. And I go over there and ask them the same thing. I go over there for the service, I heard that you could get an apartment over Nigeria. I'm still trying to get. Maybe I still need to get my mind around this. That you can get an apartment over there for $2,000 a year. I think that's what Don said. A year, $2,000 a year. Great. Hey, I'm over here. I'm showed up. Prince Dinas Amir told me I can get over here $2,000 a year. Who's Dinas? Oh, he's the search guru. Oh, yes, my brother. Yes, the citizen. I know it. Okay, yeah. You friend of his, you friend of mine. That's cool. I like it. Come in and Fitzgerald like that. You have funny accent. Where'd you get that name from? I was named after some Irish cat. Okay. We got to probably call you something else. We'll call you Injukata. So we can deal with you over here, Injukata, because we saw Black Panther. He reminded us of you. Okay. When you want to move in, how soon can I do it? Let's do it today. Okay, great. Do you have the money or do you not?
Right, and for sure, you got to pay all that up front. It's
yeah.
$2,000.
Do you have the money or do you not?
Money now.
No monthly. Do you have the money or do you not? Well, I just thought we could work something out. That's great. When you have the money. I'm not trying to be funny. It took me a long time to put it in this plain simple category right here, because I wasn't taught that. I taught myself that. By way of being solidified by my grandfather, Arthur Stanford. You got to build something. You got to have wealth stream. You want to go to Africa? Okay. Do you have the money or do you not? You want to stay there? Do you have the money or do you not? I really think some people get in trouble and Prince Amir taught me this one. I think some people get in trouble like when they go overseas in Africa, they think it's going to be cool, but they haven't properly planned right. And they run out of money, got to wind up coming right back over here or wherever they do. I'm a son of Africa. That's where my ancestors descended from. Exactly where I'm not quite sure. That was stolen from me here as an African American. No, that doesn't negate the fact that I am African. But I'm not gonna. I can go back and probably connect to something, but I better have resources. I'm going to be there. Daddy taught me years and years and years ago, never leave home without money. I learned that. You don't have time to keep working another 20, 30 years. You don't have time to sit around there and spend your time without doing things you want to do. You have to create wealth that's independent, because you know what? You can be the president of a company. And literally this happened. This happened to Lee Iacocca. And for those of you who know it, he was the president of the Ford Motor Company. Lee Iacocca was the guy that came up with a neat little car you may have heard or called the Mustang. That was his design.
Oh wow!
So he put that together. Lee Iacocca was the CEO, Chief Executive Officer, the top officer in there. But he was fired by Mr. Ford. Mr. Ford's name was on the building. Board of directors side, we want to get rid of you. So here, this guy is gone. So did he have security? Maybe someone looking in there. This man was making millions. Did he have security? You could be let go for any little circumstances. You could be let go because your different political party, or any other number of differences. So do you really want to have anyone have that much power over your life? Or if you have given that power, don't you want to take that power back? There are plenty of people who are college grads, professional people, and things like that. You'll find many of them are stepping down, or they'll take an assurance job, or where they could be independent contractor because they don't have time to see their children. They don't have time. They're on the end of a divorce because they're not spending time with their mate. Because they have to work all the time. Because why they have to work? They have to produce, and they have to be on someone else's clock. I remember clearly canceling vacations, far as for doing things that I want to do. I remember when I was on sometimes vacation, I remember this being real close to me because I didn't want to miss a deal. I remember one time back around 2006, 2006. Remember 2007. I remember my wife had set up that I could go to Montreal. I love Montreal, Canada. But I've been traveling there since I was 24 years old. Okay, and she put together a nice suite for me and everything. And I just started my company, and it was a nice package. She put that so nice and everything like that. And I turned that trip down because I had to work. I don't really regret the loss of losing the company more than I regret the loss of not taking that trip.
And let me ask you this, Fitzgerald, what happened at the company? Did you end up staying there, or like what happened?
No, that was Lantar. That was my company, Lantar and Auto Service.
Yeah.
Because I was just getting a new company off the ground, and I had been working, and she was seeing a danger of that. I was burning out. I was clearly burning out. She was seeing that. What was my logical answer? I have to work. I wished I would have took that trip to Montreal. My choice, my decision. But I don't remember all the pressure, as far as with the job. But I do remember the regret of not taking that trip to Montreal. I went up there about 3 years ago, took my bike and did some bike riding. I'm like, man, I love this place. Felt so good. Well, I could have had that feeling. Maybe if I would have detoxed and maybe I would detox and got my head on a little better, I could have made some better decision making as far as with the company. But that's here and there. But but there are people who they have all the benefits of high paid executives, right? But they don't have the stress. They have all the income of very high paid executives, but they have their time freedom. I personally know them. Starting businesses like the Free Bay, doing that. They have it all. They have both the time and the financial freedom, and that's really what you want. That's really what you're going after. So once again, just go ahead and register. Take a chance on yourself. If this is not for you, awesome, fantastic. Thank you for coming on. And you got another idea? Hey, man, fantastic. Fantastic. And you have an idea that you think is really, really up and growing, and it's really going to help people. It's going to make a positive difference of that. Shoot me an email, fitzgeraldstevens@gmail.com. I'll have you come on to my show. And I'll give you a spot in the future if it helps to grow, provided I find out you're about something, and you're really serious about it. You don't necessarily have to agree with what we're doing, but it's the concept what I want you to understand. The concept I want you to understand, like you need to create residual incomes. So I'm gonna wrap it up. Before I wrap it up, I want to jump on a couple of these comments because Dinas and I seem like we've been gone a while. I think we've been gone since the last time we showed up on Thursday. Econ 101. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Beautiful autumn day here in the Carolinas. Yeah, it's great down here. So appreciate that. Glad things are so well for you. Mr. Malcolm King, grow your own food, practice Ujama. Interpret for me on that, Prince Amir. That's the second comment.
Ujama means group economics.
Okay, great. I agree with that. Control production of culture events, present alternatives to people, and call out and denounce all who won't support it. Well, I don't believe necessarily calling them out. You just don't support them. Not everybody going to support it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't believe in that. I believe in unity. So no, so I'm not with that. Nami Stu, good afternoon from good evening from Lagos, Nigeria. Good afternoon from Tampa and Atlanta. Looking at something, and Dinas, you can help me around here. I'm just trying to. Mammy Stu, many of us have never been broke. We just don't attend to basic needs. We overlook them, calling in trivial. Do you know we spend millions of dollars importing toothpicks? Okay. Trying to find out some. I know I can't read all of them, but just going to quickly, in the interest of time. Okay. Well, I see many comments around there. What is Freebay? Angela Delalo, Angelica Delalo. Excuse me, my pronounce. The Freebay is a company based out of Switzerland that it's an e-commerce business that deals with the accumulation of small gold increments, just like we used to do in Carrot Bar, small gold increments. It also has a personal development platform, and it has a platform that teaches you how to crypto trade. And it also has a residual component that you can actually, with your expertise and your drive, you can build a global team and get paid for them when they decide they're going to purchase business packages or gold or crypto things. You could get a percentage of that. So it's group economics on steroids. And free to join. And Mr. Amir has his link going, strolling down at the bottom. And once you do decide that you want to register, he's going to give you a call, probably put you in touch with me, and then and we're gonna plug you into the training that will go over everything. But great question. Multiple streams of income, yeah. Nancy Stu, well, I want 5 streams of income. Prince Amir and I believe in 7, but 5 is good. Miss Angelica, I still struggle with time blocking so I can do other things. Well, you got to get over that, my lady. You know, you got to prioritize things. You probably have the time anyway, if you're like me, and I'll use myself. I have much more time than I realized when I made one move that saved me a whole lot of time. I took the Facebook icon off my home page on my phone. My home page looks like this. And I took the Facebook icon. Just doing that has saved me literally hours in my day. You know why? Because I was hitting that icon and seeing what else. I use Facebook as a business tool, but a lot of time I don't need to know what steak burger you cooking today. You know, I mean, it was sapping a whole lot of time off, taking a whole lot of unnecessary phone calls, looking at a whole bunch of unnecessary YouTube pages that anything to not showing you how to develop or gain wealth or things that's going to better you, things like that. But it's a whole lot of garbage out there. So with switching a lot of things off, not making everybody, not allowing people to make their emergency your emergency. Okay, and so you have to get very, very structured and control of your time. Miss Angelica, you have the same amount of time as Oprah Winfrey has in a day. With Mr. Dago is a billionaire in Nigeria. You have the same amount of time as President Donald John Trump, President Paul Kagame of Rwanda. You have the same amount of time as Bill Gates, as Jeff Bezos of Microsoft. You have the same amount of time as Diane Samir or Fitzgerald Stevens. It's what you do with the time. You have to tell your time what to do. You literally have to tell your time what to do. And one of the best ways of telling your time what to do, get you something like this. Get you a journal. Get you this, and you prioritize. This is every bit of your day is prioritized. If it doesn't fit into that, you don't do it. You don't do it. Even and so you'll find out that, hey, can you come over and help me unmove this stuff? What time is it? 7 o'clock? No, I have this meeting right here. Well, when you can happen? Okay, let me flip over next Wednesday at 2. That long? Yeah, that's the only time I have available. You know, so you have to really do that. So we all got that time, and that, my lady, takes discipline, and we have to work at that every day. You know, because it's almost blasphemous. It's not almost. It is blasphemous to waste time or definitely let other people waste your time. And I've been guilty of both of them. Have to stop that. Okay, so you can go ahead and just get you a journal. Get you a scheduler. You know, you can download a scheduler down from off the internet, but you want to tell your time what to do. No, and so that's how we do that. And so even with this, now even when you decide you're going to build a free base networking business, well, there's ways you can do that. You can do like Dynass and I used to do in the old days. We used to personally train everyone. You know, that's kind of difficult. You know, right now, you know, when we had about 1 or 2 people, Dynass was pretty easy back then. No, pretty easy to take all the calls and miss the call. But right now, we have to send out training schedules. We have to have you plug into the training, learn what you don't know. That's what we have the team of Dynass Amir website for. That's what we have the Gold Rocks training that shows you how to build. How am I possibly going to train to about 12,000 business partners all around the world? You know, different time zones. So, you know, different geographicals. You know, I mean, I don't know what time it is in Ghana right now. I have a business over there with Jonas. You know, I don't know. I mean, you know, I don't know what time it is over there in New Zealand or Australia or down. I don't know. You know, but you know, we have these teams over there, so you have to have a system that you plug in, because the last thing you want to think if you're trying to build wealth, I got to go get another job. It's only you. I've done that. I remember one time I had so many jobs. I had 3 jobs at one time working all at the same time. Well, I was much younger. I remember having money, didn't even have time to put it in the bank. That's how much I was working. Not that I was making a whole lot of money. I remember falling asleep, and you know, this back when I didn't have a car, I had to ride the bus, and I was so exhausted. I heard the bus pull up about 5 minutes out there. I had to get ready, go on there, run to catch that, and I was just working exhausted. You can't do that. There's only so much time you have in a day, so you got to learn how to leverage the time of other people, and that's what the freebie and that's what networking does. It allows you to leverage the time of other people and get paid for the time of other people in addition to your own. So in my closing, I want to say this, you know, and I said it a couple of times. I really want everyone to listen to me. Really, really want everybody to listen to me in lieu of what I said, because I'm talking to you from my heart right now. Warren Buffett has said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. You will literally work until you die. Prince Amir has said, titles are not sexy. Income is. Mr. Michael Delco has said, if you don't come from a wealthy family needs to come from you. Because if they don't, they're going to keep doing exactly what you are doing. And that's what they're going to teach their children to do, exactly what you're doing. And that's going to, and with that statement right there, that gives you a chance. Do you want to create perpetual poverty or perpetual wealth? Your decision. Okay. And Fitzgerald Stevens says, if you don't make moves, moves will be made on you. It is the greatest time in the history of the world to build wealth right now. Forget about Corona. No, forget about that. After Corona goes, probably be something else to replace it. Oh, Fitzgerald, don't say that. Well, you heard about the bird flu, the swine flu, the Spanish flu, monkey flu. You know, the I don't want to go to work flu. I mean, they come up. But no matter what happens, you have to be prepared. I used to, in my younger, more immature days, very, very immature younger days, I didn't plan for the bad, ladies and gentlemen. If I had a goal, I didn't get it, I was all discombobulated, bent out of shape. I mean, I worked and I worked hard, and the goal didn't come to pass. Man, I just think that wasn't for me. Now that I'm older now, it rains on the just and unjust. You got to plan for problems. You have to have contingency plans. Okay, if this thing goes this way, how am I going to bounce? If this thing moves like this, how am I going to move? If it moves left, I got to move for that. If it moves right, I got to move for that. If it keeps course along, we fine. But I have plans. If they fire me from this job, okay, I already got more skills I built up. I already have lined up other things. I'm already out there building other things. If I lose this income, great. I already have a home-based business putting together. You got to have plans. If I get sick, great. I already have reserves. I'm already moving towards things. So if people who don't have contingency plans, those are the people who fall apart. How can they do this for a job? I gave them the best years of my life. They just took me away like I was nothing. How could they possibly do that? Okay, I got you. I got an answer for you. I got a question for you on that. Okay, did they pay you?
Yes.
What do you mean? Did they pay you? When you worked, did they pay you all the 20 years you worked? Yes. Yes, but no buts. They paid you for your time, right? Yes, but they owe you. They paid you. You agreed to work with a certain amount of time. They didn't get you no guarantee how long they was going to keep the job. You was hoping it's going to be. You see, I don't mean to talk with the cruel and the cruel end of it. And that's not a cruel, that's a true statement. Did they pay you? They don't owe you anything. You don't owe them anything. It's a washing of the hands. So therefore, it's up to you to build something. You to build something that someone can't take from you. Something that you own, something that no one take it from you. You transfer it to your loved ones. And it's still going to keep building for them. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless y'all. We appreciate you. And thank you very much. For those of you who want to probably hear more about this, I'm probably going to make a video about maybe 20 minutes after I get off of this phone, after I get off the stream, on find ways to win, because I like this vein that I'm in right now. And so I love you guys to subscribe. Go ahead and hit that like button on Prince Amir's site. Share this with someone. Stop being a spectator. Get involved in the game.
Guys, me for sure. We're gonna start up our sports talk radio show on Fine.
Hey man, let's do it. You see, and you see, Dynass said that with a smile, but you notice, man, my facial expression is saying, like, people are like, dang, why Miss Fitzgerald look so serious? Because I'm like, hey, that's another stream income. That's another idea. Because where he's seeing it, where he's talking like that, catch how my mind thinks, and this is how your mind needs to think. Similar, not, of course, we're all thinking, I'm already in syndication. I'm already in somebody buying us out. I'm already in like a Shannon or Skip Bayless show. Shannon Sharp, Skip Bayless. That's where my mind is, until he just dropped that idea. And we feed off of that. But I'm already, okay, man, all right. That's symmetry. That fits into what we're both doing right now. That gives exposure. So that's how I'm thinking. So my thing to him, hey, Dynass, come up with a nice name for it, man. Let's get on up there. We can call it Georgia, Alabama, we can make some little catchy niche, and we put something together, man, and make up some pens or make up some water cups and market this, and put in there. We could do like one's a critic and the other one's we can create all kinds of things. Probably assume, hey man, how many no coffee mugs we sold at $4.99? You see, that's how I'm sending it. We can come on there. One of us a comedian, one of us is serious. Bring the dog on, and put up there. Go get my Jamaican hat with the dreadlocks on it, put it on, and come talk about doing things, all kinds of things. But I'm thinking about, okay, how can we expand this revenue? And he's thinking the same way too. So my logic is, when Dynass said that, hey man, let's do it. Let's talk about that off screen. This is what I'm talking about. And see how simple that ideal is? Now, you have thousands of them right now. You just got to move on them.
All right.
You got to move on them. So Dynass, man, let's start that sports show.
Let's do it.
All that's going to do is drive traffic to our other shows and things like that. Our freebie accounts are still going to be rolling. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you. But that's what I mean. Stop being a spectator. Spectating is long gone. I hope, and well, let's see if Biden what he gonna do. Biden gonna take care of his family. That's what he gonna do. You gonna take care of yours. Well, let's see what they do. I hope the jobs come back. Create a job for you and your family. Create it. I hope they give me a better pay and more wages. Give yourself a raise. Create it. Put in there. Don't ask for it. Create it. Think like a boss. Think like a boss. Be a man, a woman of action. Don't be sitting out there waiting with your hands open. Please fill it. Go out there and build you a bigger table. Create and get business of the business. Get busy with the business of prospering. Stop being a spectator. Talk about what Kanye and Kim is doing. That's their business.
Right.
Stop talking about what the brothers over there in Africa are doing. That's their business. They trying to do the same thing for a family like we're trying to do. Man, let's go ahead and get it. Hey, Angela gave us a thing, Fitzgerald and Prince show. The thing about that, Miss Angelica, I hate Fitz, so I'd rather be called, Fitzgerald and Dynass. But I can see why you're going. But let me tell you, if Fitz puts paper in her pockets, guess what my name is? Fitz. Whatever you want to call, just make sure you spell the name right on the paycheck. So God bless y'all. Appreciate it. I've had some fun today with you guys. So got to do some income producing activities. Got a video to make about a little bit less than 20 minutes on find ways to win. Probably continue this vein. Who knows? Probably talk about something else. But you can do it. You can do it. It's up to you. Your future's in your hands, not mine, not Dynas's, not the government, not your wife, not your husband, not your boss. It's in your hands. You frame your world. You build it. You don't like the one that's going on right now? Build a better one. Build it by your actions, by your words, but build it. Don't be tripping over someone else who built their world and they don't want to include you in it. Build yours. Donna Samir, God bless you all. And ladies and gentlemen, God bless each and every one of you. I definitely must go.
Absolutely. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you go to dynastymir.com. Until next time, family, Dynasty Mirror, search for Huru. Peace.